places. 2 went to Papua New Guinea, and 1 went to Indonesia. And my team went to Papua New Guinea, and I didn't really know what to expect. I've never even heard of Papua New Guinea until they said, "You're going to Papua New Guinea," and I was like, "What?" But it's basically this little island that's like right above Australia, and it's third world. Like, these people live in like dirt houses or just live on the streets, and they eat nuts and trees and things like that, and it was nothing what I was used to. I was like, where am I going to plug in my hair straightener? Because there was like no electricity in some places, and we bathed in like rivers, and it was crazy. And like, to be honest, it was hard. It got so hard at some times that I just was like, I just want to go home and I want to sleep in my bed, and it was just so hard. And in those times I really had to just say, God, I got to give you this, and I have to walk in your strength because I can't do this anymore. And he really showed to be faithful in that time. And like, during outreach, we learned these skits and dramas to go and do open airs in like markets and villages and settlements, where we would go and like do a drama and then give a testimony and preach at the end and just ask if anyone needed prayer for healing or if they wanted to accept Jesus. And it was crazy because we would get thousands of people, like crowds of like this room packed times like a million, not really, but a lot. And I was just like, whoa, I don't even know what I'm going to speak on, but like I would go up there and just, God would really just use me, because I used to be really nervous before and really scared to just go up in front of, like probably 2 years ago I would never be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to come up here and stand in front of you guys, but God really just gave me the boldness and the courage to just go, and he was just like telling me that it's not about you, it's not about how you look and about how you sound. I just want to share, I want you to share what I've done in your life and see these people saved, and I want you to see all the things that I've planned. And like I would go up there and just speak, and like after I would say, I don't know what I just said, but like people would come up and get saved, and you know it was God when there was thousands of people and like the back could not hear you, and they would come up and they were just like, I want God in here, I want that, I want what you have. And like in those moments of that and people getting healed, like there's nowhere else I would rather be than just there and being in God's glory and seeing his name lifted high. Sorry. But yeah, that just impacted me so much, and I used to think that I was really small, but God loves to show his power through people who are willing. My mom told me that one time, so I thought that was really cool, because I think I'm pretty small and I didn't think I was that significant, but when you go out there and just share what God has done, then it's so big and it can move mountains like he promises in his word. And it says in Matthew 28:19, I'm sure all of you have heard it, about that we are all called to go out and share the good news into all the nations. And that really impacted me like a year ago when I decided to do this, because he called you all to go out and share. And so I did, and I realized how powerful God could be in this time. It says in Genesis, like in the beginning, you know how it says, God created the heavens and the earth, and he said, let there be light, and it was. Well, I don't think many of you really understand how powerful his words are. Like, he just said, let there be light, and it was. Like, he only had to say it, and then it was. And so I just think, like, why is it so hard sometimes when God says to do something, and we're just like, I can't do that? Or he'll say, go and talk to that person who's depressed or who needs something, but they don't know what they're looking for. And he'll tell us all to go, and sometimes we're just like, I can't, like, I don't know what to say. He's given us the same power that rose Jesus from the grave lives in us, and we all have that. And He's given us all the ability to overcome like hardships and tribulations, because we all know that life isn't perfect. I'm sure everyone in this room has gone through hard things, and it hurts sometimes, but He's given us the ability to overcome those things and to just go on and live and be happy and delight in His name. And we're all human and we make mistakes, but the crazy thing about God is that His grace covers it. Even when you make a mistake, He's just there to say, I forgive you. It's okay. And He gave us His greatest gift. When we were at our lowest point, He was there and He just gave us Jesus Christ. And everyone knows the story of how Jesus came and He was fully man. He was just like us. He came, He had skin, and He was a human being, and He faced every single temptation that you all face today. He faced it, and He did not sin. The reason why is because He came to the earth to do exactly what God called Him to do, and He did just that. And it says in Philippians 2:8, and in human form He obediently humbled Himself even further by dying a criminal's death on a cross. And then it goes on to say that because of this, God rose Him up and gave Him a name above all others, so that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And I just think that's so like deep. It's like it just hit me like a ton of bricks sometimes. Like to think that He sent His Son just for me and just for you. And when Jesus was on that cross and He was dying, that you went through His head, and He was like, I want you to do things. And I know the power that you have, and I know life's going to be hard sometimes, but I have big things planned for you. And it says in Romans 8:29, God knows His people in advance, and He chose them to become like His Son. So He knows each and every one of you. And we're made in His image and likeness. Like no one else, like animals are not made like we are. They can't do what we do. He chose us and called us to do specific things. And like I said, we're all called to go out. And in Mark it says that great signs and wonders will accompany those who believe. And I didn't really understand that until I went out and I was like, okay, great signs, like what? And then all of a sudden people getting healed, like blind people could see, people who were paralyzed, like instantly got healed. And I was like, whoa, is that really you, God? I mean, there was this guy that we went to go see one time. Like, we would go to different settlements, and we were at this one settlement, and people would just run up to us, and we felt like Jesus, because they were just like, we heard you were here, so can you come pray? And this person wants to get healed, and we were like, okay, well, that's cool to see these crazy things again. And this guy was laying there, and I'll never forget him.